Hey all, welcome to this week's favorite collection here at the CIOPCC. Normally I hang a right to go to this section. It's down there at the end, but I think I'll go around this way to give myself a little extra time to talk. This is going to be the Muppets collection. Now, when I did the Palusades Top 10 a couple of weeks ago, I realized I had never done a favorite collection of Muppets, which just seems incredible that I hadn't done that. Now, the main focus is going to be, of course, the Palusades line, but there will be a few other things mixed in here, including, you'll see right here at the top, the box set back in the back. That's from Diamond Select. That's their band set they did. And there's some of the mega figures. Pay particular attention to that Bernice and Gonzo there in the middle. We're going to hear a little bit more about them here in a minute, in a different format. So let's move around this side. Here's some more of the boxed play sets, a couple of the loose megas and some other variants. One of my favorite figures on the top 10, of course, was Sweetums. He's up there boxed. Uncle Deadly was in that list at some point too, and he's up there. All three versions carded. Now I have a complete boxed and carded collection of the Palusades Muppets. That is why all of these carded figures are not in storage, but rather on display. I could always store them away eventually, but I really do like the fact I don't do this very often, where I have a complete carded and boxed set. So I kind of highlighted it here. There's the the lunchbox sets. Those were both collectors. Club sets, and then there's the there's actually five, the three small ones and the two large ones. Those came in a black velvet bag. I'll show you one of those in a minute, in case you hadn't realized that, because a lot of times they don't find them with the black velvet bags anymore. These are the Sidedhow busts, so that's the third company that you've seen some Muppets items from. I really like the Sidedhow busts. I think it's disappointing that we didn't get any more. But they did go pretty deep, considering certainly deeper than Sidedhow went with, like, for example, like their Star Trek busts, which is another good line, but they didn't go very far. Here's some more carded figures on the end. And as we come around this side, you'll start to see some of the minis. The minis, I don't have a complete carded set. I'm complete on them, either loose or carded, which you'll see at different times with some other things in my collection. But now, as we move down this way, we're getting some of the earlier lines, the red cards, some of the earlier waves, including some of the stuff from the very first wave. You'll see my wires hanging down there. I have to work on the lights on the shelf. They're giving me some trouble. Like Dr. Teeth is from the first wave. And in front, some more box sets, including the hard to get wedding set. Ken Lily's Wedding. I do, when I'm a completist on this line, I'm a serious completist. There's both versions of Adventure Kermit, for example, with the paint variation on the pants, and Gonzo. So let's talk loose figures. Let's come down here and let's start with the play set that is my favorite, the kitchen. See, I got a couple versions of Chef in there. The set has all kinds of extras and cool features. All the little doors and drawers open up. You can see all the little characters that I put inside. I put stuff in several of the various spaces. There's a ton of accessories. It is one of my favorite all-time play sets. If I do a top 10 play set, this is definitely going to be on there. In back, we have the lab with Beaker and Honeydew hanging out in the corner, as well as the pigs from space over here. Next to them, animals playing the drums and the band set. And another favorite of folks is the backstage play set, which I have set up here on the end. I love to see people's setups with these play sets because you can see how different people approach who is in each set. There's the rest of the band. Some of the clear figures that they did. Folks in tuxedos. That wreath didn't come with Santa Chef. I added that. When we come around this way, you get another folks in tuxedos character. That would be Rolf. That's the normal way he came, with the piano in his tuxedo. In front we have Sweetums, who I talked about before. Down across this side, Statler and Waldorf. Piggy Wild looking at herself in the mirror. Now we're going to start moving down here, once we get past these few figures, into some of the figures you saw in the must-sees, like the toilet head animal, some first shots of various characters, a paint master of Santa Chef, Sesame Street, Bert done in clay was the original sculpt. Guy Smiley with some of the letters. Some more of the hard copies that you can take all apart. That's a background for the Electric Mayhem where they're in different colors. So quite a few of the, not exclusive, but pre-production prototypes. And over on this side we have the Uncle Deadlies, and particularly the Jim Henson. Both versions of Santa Eagle are there. Let's drop down another row and look at some Super Grover. This is actually a complete, that's the box set there, as well as the two that I opened up. And there are two prototypes here too. Those are two different heads that they talked about potentially doing. You notice the hat color is different on one, and the other one completely is missing a hat. Now this shelf, we get more into the Diamond Select stuff. There is some carded of the Palisades there in back. But this front part of the shelf is all of the Diamond Select releases so far, including the full band, which they finally got around to doing as part of the 2-packs, and a couple of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. Now remember how I told you to pay attention to that Bernice and Gonzo? Here they are again. This is the same pair of figures that you saw in the box set from the Wizard World exclusive. But this one here was a prototype they put together for Target. This was originally how they were supposed to get sold, carded. And they were never sold through Target. Target backed out on the deal. Here's some more of the minis here in front. The way I understand it is they only made one case of these, which means 112 of them. And so, actually, sorry, 10 cases. Each case had 12. So 120 of them. And those 10 cases are all they ever made. So I think that is the rarest of the, what you would call production figures. Across here we have more of the carded figures. When you have a complete carded collection, that's a lot of figures. A couple of them end up finishing up back there behind some Family Guy stuff. The remaining loose figures, as well as some of the bagged exclusives that they did for different shows, parties, including the Toy Fair white tuxedo Ruff. As I said, that's one that I do not have two versions of. So there you have the Muppets collection. Here, I will show you this. I'll put it down here on the Star Wars box. That is one of the bags that you should look for if you're buying those tin lunchbox figures for Toy Fair that they produced. So there you go. I believe that's it for the Muppets collection. Oh, almost forgot to mention the Hallmark ornament. That is a great Hallmark ornament. That's it for this week. I'll see you next week when I have another favorite collection video, and make sure you subscribe and talk to you later.